Right. Yes, sir. Before we question on this committee meeting, this is a purchase at 15,000. Do we want to consider those individually at half? That way it doesn't have to go to the board for procedure? You know what I mean? Because it's over 10. Would it be just as easy to consider them as, because they're on one quote, would it be just as easy to consider them as individual purchases? What do you think?
Don't think so. I think it would still needs to,
These upfits for these new patrol cars, the total for two is 15,000. Do we accept it as that and go to the board, or do we accept them individually for $7,017.04 and 54 cents?
It's two separate parts.
It's billed as one, but on two separate units, yes. There's two separate units being upfitted. But on one,
But is it one financial transaction? Or
the way it's billed currently, it is.
yeah,
It's two.
yeah.
The way it's billed currently is one, but
Yeah, I guess you'd have to keep it up.
as presented, kick it up
Yeah.
for that. Okay,
But you
Yeah.
might consider that for future reference.
yeah. To
If
just
you
make it,
have three invoices for 10.
just make it simpler.
One for 30.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, it's,
That's
we
something.
on, ready to go? It's 6:50 and I'll call this meeting of the McMinnville Safety Committee to order. Tonight on our agenda, we have two items. One is to consider the purchase of equipment upfits for two new police units that we have. Let's see, Chief Mosley, you want to come up here and talk to us about this? I assume this is just we buy them stripped down and this is all your light bars and equipment that you need to put them into service.
It's this request to purchase the outfit equipment for the Dodge Durangos that we're purchasing as well. It's including all the emergency lighting, prisoner partitions, console, push bumpers. Quote is for 15,035.08. It's off statewide contract, 202 and UT Knoxville contract. And this was included in our budget.
Okay. All right, great. Well, just before the meeting started, we had a little bit of discussion that the way these things are billed, with it being over $10,000, then we've got to, if we accept this, it's got to go to the board. But in the future, if you'll present them individually, then we can just approve it at the committee level and not have to wait to the next board meeting to get it done. It might help you get it done a little bit
Yeah.
faster. Unless the board decides to suspend the rules tonight and accept it. Is this time sensitive? Do you have these vehicles right now?
The Durangos we've ordered, we don't have. those.
Okay, so it's not time sensitive right now. Okay, all right. Does anybody have any questions about this purchase for the police department?
I don't.
Well, motion to approve. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And so it is approved. And the second one is to consider the purchase of a TrueNarc drug analyzer. And from what I understand, that's just basically some type of a pill analyzer, so we can understand if it's controlled substance or not.
Anything like crushed up pills or fentanyl, all that sort of, our officers out here working and they're having to test something they run up on, they can tell what it is without having to touch it, especially with the fentanyl. And this was gonna be reimbursed by grant funds.
Okay, is that, so that would be kept at police headquarters?
Yes.
They would then bring it in,
Yeah,
test it
we'll
there.
have to be training, I think there's 12 people that's included in the purchase of this, trained how to use it, because there's specific ways you've got to use it. And, so we're looking at picking out the people that we want to be trained on it, but it will be the supervisors will use it, but it'll be kept here.
Okay. Is this, I mean, do other departments use these things? Or this is pretty common equipment?
There's other bigger departments that have more money. We're so happy to get it because of the grant, because it's very expensive, but it's something really good to have, especially with all the fentanyl that's out and about. I mean, because you have overdoses, just even coming in contact with some of this stuff, and the officers don't know what it is, and people buying pills that they're thinking is one thing, but it's actually fentanyl or, crushed up and all different. So it's just very, safety oriented for our officers dealing with this stuff.
Is it gonna identify across the board?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. It's in, we have a sole source letter too that was attached with this particular company.
I saw that.
Mhm.
I think that's a great thing. So if we don't have any further questions or discussions, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to.
Do we,
accept that.
do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. I don't believe that we have any other business on the agenda of this committee meeting, so we'll call it adjourned. Thank you.
It's $30,000.
We will call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the McMinnville City Board of Mayor and Aldermen. The first item on the agenda is roll call.
Sally Brock.
Here.
Deidre Dunlap.
Present.
Stacy Harvey.
Here.
Steve Harvey.
Here.
Rachel Kirby.
Here.
Carrie Morton.
Here.
Mayor Chastain.
Present. Next item on the agenda is consideration of minutes. Each member of the board should have received those in their agenda packets. If there are no requests for additions, corrections, or deletions, I will entertain a motion to dispense with the reading and approve them as read.
So moved.
Motion by Miss Sally Brock,
Second.
second by Miss Deidre Dunlap. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Item 3 is recognition of visitors. If anyone wishes to address the board this evening, please step up to the podium and state your name for the record. Hearing none, we'll move on to item 4, recognition of employees. Several department heads here this evening. If anyone wishes to give an employee recognition, come on up.
I have one particular employee, just my all of my employees. I just want to recognize that the job they did through all this cold weather and the windstorm and having to be out in it the whole time and dealing with the traffic problems and the domestics of this freezing cold weather. They did a great job. They didn't fuss about it. So, I mean, I'm thankful for all of them and PSU units, you know, they're do it for free. So, and we're thankful for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the same can be said for fire, water, sewer, public works, everybody that worked during all the inclement weather. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is communications. There are none. Item 6 is petitions. There are none. Item 7 is unfinished business. Does any member of the board have any unfinished business this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 8, new business. We have 3 items under new business this evening. The first item, 8A, is to discuss Kevin Dunlap replacing Earl Barr on the McMinnville Housing Authority Board. As I'm sure everyone is aware, Mr. Barr passed away recently. He's a longtime member of the Housing Authority, and Pam Vaughn, the administrator of our local housing authority, reached out to me and asked the city board to consider Mr. Dunlap as his replacement. Kevin is a former state representative, a longtime local educator, and I do think that he would be a good suitable replacement for Mr. Barr and is amenable to serving the remainder of Mr. Barr's term. I'll entertain a motion to approve that recommendation by the McMinnville Housing Authority.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Stacy Harvey, second by Mr. Steve Harvey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item 8B is discuss Frank Southard replacing Bill Brock on the Tennessee Solid Waste Regional Planning Board. I have to be honest, I don't really know what this board does. Frank, can you give us any? Bill has been on this board for a number of years, even dating back to when he was a city administrator. It is for Middle Tennessee, and all joking aside, it is kind of self-explanatory, discussing solid waste removal and planning for the Middle Tennessee area. So if there are no objections from the board, I would recommend or entertain a motion to approve Frank taking his place on this board.
So moved.
Motion by Miss Sally Brock,
Second.
second by Miss Rachel Kirby. All in favor? Aye, motion passes. Item 8C is discuss Autumn Malone replacing Ross Garrison on the Tourism Development Board. Ross recently tendered his resignation and his term is up in October of this year. Autumn Malone is amenable to completing that term. She is currently the general manager at 1810 Title and Escrow, has extensive experience in the finance realm, and that is something that is lacking on the board, given Mr. Garrison's departure. So if there are no objections, I would ask that the board consider us replacing Mr. Garrison with Ms. Malone.
I would make that motion that she replace Mr. Garrison.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Ms. Rachel Kirby, a second by Mr. Stacy Harvey. All in favor? Aye, motion passes. Item 9 is resolutions. Item 9A is resolution number 2250 to authorize the city of McMinnville to purchase a NAFCO from NAFCO, a Halmatro Combi Tool PCT 50 through HGAC contract EE 08-19 for the McMinnville Fire Department to allow city administrator of the city to issue necessary purchase order and to express the time when the resolution becomes effective. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Carrie Morton,
Second.
second by Ms. Deidre Dunlap. Any questions for the fire department or discussion among the board? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Stacy Harvey,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
Yes.
Rachel Kirby,
Yes.
Carrie Morton,
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. Item 9B is resolution number 2251, resolution to support applying for the TDOT Transportation Planning Grant and to create a pavement maintenance plan. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Sally Brock,
Second.
second by Ms. Carrie Morton. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Sally Brock.
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Stacy Harvey,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
Yes.
Rachel Kirby,
Yes.
Carrie Morton,
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. Item 10 is ordinances. There are none. Item 11 is departmental reports. Again, several department heads here this evening. If anyone wishes to address the board, come on up. Mr. Ming, do you have anything?
Yeah, just one thing. I handed out a report from the IDB Executive Director, Wendy Sneed, who was actually here with us tonight. We talked and we felt like it would be a good idea for her to provide a regular report on the IDB activity, what they've been working on. So that's what you have in front of you. Quarterly, I think we'll get that. So probably don't have enough time to read through it and ask questions now, but
It's good information from what I've been able to look at. It's very good information.
As he said, this was just something that we have apparently been doing this for years with the county commission. And so I felt that since we were doing it with them and y'all do appoint 5 of our members to our board, that we needed to be presenting the same information to y'all so you understand the projects that we have going. Of course, the majority of the projects we work right now have been in the county, but my board has been extremely flexible and allow me to assist with some other projects, both city and county, that are not necessarily industrial development, just because my background with grants and state, good old state government. So I've been working with city and or the chamber and some other organizations, just trying to help with some grants and other things. But we'll be presenting this quarterly, and they're just coming in. I think it's going to be on the second meeting of the month, but it's going to coincide with everything that we do with the county already. If y'all have any questions, just feel free to email or call me and I'll get them answered for you. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
in addition to this report, we will be meeting regularly. So Sean Garrett and myself will meet with Wendy and kind of cover what's going on in the city and is there any way we can work together. So we haven't really done that in the past. So we will do more of that going forward. That's all I've got.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Purtle. Anything else to come before the board this evening? Hearing nothing, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you.
That was actually 7:07. It, after you said adjourned, then it turned 7:08. I was, that's a record for me. That's almost 4